On everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video we are looking at the NFL prize picks week 1 for NFL. We got a fun week 1, got a full board on prize picks. I'll touch on some underdog plays as well, be similar to the prize picks ones. But if you play on underdog as well, if you haven't signed up on underdog, use my code process and they will match your first deposit up to $100. They got the higher lowers pick'ems. They have the best ball drafts and drafts in general, which are available in more states. Pick'em might not be available in your state, depending on where you are. For prize picks, I'm looking at six plays for this weekend. Let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the content, appreciate it for the like button. Subscribe if you have not already. Check out other links in the description. If you play DraftKings and FanDuel lineups, posting my final look for this week, so check that out on YouTube. And let's get started. So first pick that we are looking at today is receiving yards. And I am taking the best receiver in football, Justin Jefferson, over 89.5 receiving yards. This one, tremendous matchup against Tampa Bay. Seems super low. We know he's Kirk Cousins' favorite target. Kind of closed the year off a bit slow, but the Giants game was a playoff game, and they just got blown out in that one. And then Chicago and Green Bay, tougher spots there. Didn't really need to do much with. They were kind of locked into their seeding. However, first game of the year, think he's going to be ready to go. No Thielen on the other side, so maybe Cousins might take him a couple weeks maybe to get used to Jordan Addison. So could lead to more targets for Jefferson, more yards, but either way, it's a tremendous spot against this Bucs defense. Expect them to go to Jefferson often. He got you over 90 receiving yards 11 games last year, and he opened up the season last season against Green Bay with almost a 200-yard performance, 184 yards in his week 1 of 2022. And they're at home. Expect a big game from Jefferson. Think 100 plus is definitely super likely. Second prop we're looking at is Austin Eckler. This is another game that I really like to target. There's a lot of Eckler props you could consider. However, for myself, I'm taking his over 4.5 receptions. This game expected to be back and forth affair. Expected to be a high scoring shootout in this one. So last season, he gave you this over 5+ catches in 10 games. Last year, game against the Dolphins last season, he had 8 targets, 8 receptions. He's going to get targeted. They're going to utilize him a lot. The Chargers are a lot of people's sleeper pick to make it out. Not a lot, but I guess a handful of people's pick this year to make it out of the AFC, and I think it is likely. They got a better receiver this year. Well, they added to the already good receiving core with the draft, and Johnston. Eckler, if he stays healthy, Herbert should take a step up. Was a bit disappointing last season. But 4.5 receptions over, I like that a lot against Miami. Should be, like I mentioned, it's one of the highest totals of the week. For our third prop, we are looking at Tyreek Hill on the other side of this game. For Hill, you could take his 85.5 yards. I think that's fine. His 6 receptions looks fine too. But I'm looking at his targets especially because it just seems low. His targets are 9.5. He's typically going to be a double-digit target type of piece, a type of player. Last year, he got you 10+ targets in 10 games. And if you look at the other board on receiving targets, you have Jefferson. You're going to need 12 for that one to hit. And then from other studs, like he has the same targets as Keenan Allen. We know Tua likes to pepper Hill with targets. It's going to be him and Waddle, guys getting a ton of targets. And then with their injury to one of the running backs, maybe it leads to, with Wilson, maybe it leads to a little bit more passing. However, just think it's going to be a really fun affair with both Tua and Herbert going back and forth. Going over to catches. Now, this one, you have a super low prop that I really like for receptions. It's in Chicago. It's a little risky just with Justin Fields, but I think based on the offseason and preseason that DJ Moore had, he has great connections going with Justin Fields. He took a couple of took that 62-yarder to the house on a screen pass. I think he's going to get screen passes. He's going to get short targets. They're going to look to get him involved. So to get 4 receptions against the Packers at home, we have Mooney who's at 3, which I feel way more likely is going to go under than DJ Moore. 4 catches. He had his first down season last year, and it's just basically didn't have a great quarterback back there. So with Fields, people think he's going to take a step up. People love the Bears, and if the Bears do well, it's going to be because DJ Moore has a big season. So if he's not able to get you 4 receptions week 1, then the Bears are going to be in trouble. If you're looking for a Sunday night game, Tony Pollard at 3 receptions looks really good. He's finally going to be the top dog. Full workload, but I'm going to try to stick to the games before that so then we can make a Sunday night football slip. So we got 4 picks in here right now, and we haven't touched on a running back yet. So going over to rushing yards, I'm taking Cam Akers because the Rams are banged up. I think his yards looked fine. McVay said they're going to use him more, and they kind of don't have any other running back there that they're going to give a lot of work to. So he had a great end to the season. Big game against Seattle, going up against them once again. Open up this season with 104, finish with 300-plus yard performances. With no Cooper Kupp, the Rams, they're going to look to some other guys, get them more touches. So I think Akers gets you 15 carries, 15 to 20 carries. Pretty likely he'll get you 63 yards. So that one I really like. And then for our final pick, now this one is another Rams player. And before we got the Cooper Kupp news, there's no way I'd be looking at any of his props. But with injuries comes opportunities, and you're going to get Tutu Atwell, their second receiver, next to Van Jefferson. Both guys are kind of like boomer bust players. One of them is going to have to step up and kind of run more short, intermediate routes. I think Atwell is the type of guy that could do that, and they'll keep Van Jefferson running just deep posts or just deep routes in general. So, Atwell, he's gotten opportunities. He's typically played well when he's gotten playing time, and he's going to be out there on the field a ton because besides Van Jefferson, Atwell, and Higbee, those are the 3 guys that are going to get a lot of targets, and they're going to have to throw, and they have Stafford back there. So Stafford's going to throw. I think 32 yards for Atwell is super. It's definitely very likely, assuming that he's going to play 80+% of snaps. So those are the 6 pieces I got for week 1. I think they all look good. 6-pick flex, opened the season up with a bang. Over 89.5 yards for Justin Jefferson. Over 4.5 catches for Eckler. Over 9.5 targets for Tyreek Hill. 3.5 catches for DJ Moore. Over 62.5 yards for Cam Akers. And then Tutu Atwell, 31.5 over. So that's what I got for Prize Picks. For Underdog Fantasy, like I mentioned, use my code PROCESS if you haven't signed up. But they have pretty much similar lines. You have 88.5 for Justin Jefferson, taking his higher. We have a freebie in Saquon Barkley. So on Prize Picks, they also have the free square for Dak Prescott. If you have not taken that, take advantage of it. On Underdog, they have the over half for Saquon. So use that if you haven't, and you can. But I'm going to keep, those. That's obvious. I'm not going to put that in my slip. Second one that we are looking at is going to be, like I mentioned, pretty similar. You have Atwell at 30.5, so you save a yard. Compared to Prize Picks here, both sites have DJ Moore at 3.5 catches, which I just think is pretty crazy. So I'm taking him over. Look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, you can take his targets, but his yards are 81.5 compared to 85.5 on Prize Picks, or was it 84.5? But either way, you're getting a better value. 85.5. So you're getting a way better value on Tyreek Hill's yards on Underdog. So play him over there. We're looking at Cam Akers also. And Cam Akers, guess they don't have his prop up. All right, found his prop. He's at 64.5 yards on Prize Picks. He's at 62.5. So a little bit better of a value there, but I still think Akers is going to get you probably 70+ yards, maybe even 100+. Would not be shocked. And on Underdog, you just need 5 to pay you 20x. So those are the ones that I like the most. 88.5 over for Justin Jefferson, over 30.5 yards for Tutu Atwell, over 4 catches for DJ Moore, over 81.5 yards for Hill. Akers over 64.5, and then if you're not feeling one of those and you want to go back to Austin Eckler, you can take him over 4.5 catches. But that's what I got. Thank you for watching. Best of luck week 1, and I will catch you all next time.